Welcome along, folks, if you've just joined us. As you can probably hear, rustling around, just trying to get myself sorted. Usual story. Live at Bristol Airport. It's a beautiful day. It's Wednesday the 13th of September. And we'll just get this one underway. I'll try and get onto the YouTube. Sorry for the adjustments, folks. Let's have a look at this now. See if we focus through here. It's pretty neat, isn't it? I've got some unwanted movement on the camera. Just have to do some fixes on that in a moment. Push this sound up a little bit. 1 2 1 2. Don't want to be too echoey here. There we are. It's another lovely departure from Bristol. Welcome along. Just checking that the signal looks good, which I think it does. Last time we were here, of course, was an absolute disaster. But we seem good. 09 operations today, a small crosswind, but as you can see, most of it blown down the runway from that sock. So who's with us this morning? Come say hi. I'm just going to do some admin while it's a little bit quiet and get some sharing going, so just bear with me, folks. Disaster? That works then. Hey everybody, it's Planecaster here, Danny speaking. Welcome back to Bristol Airport. Not too much happening at this precise moment, but that's why we set up early in anticipation of the later action, hopefully. Today from the airport we are on Winters Lane North today, which is how we have the fence view here. But what we can do is focus through this and bring you these amazing close-ups of the aircraft taxiing for departure. They come right past us here, and as you can see, I mean, I am zoomed in there, but it's only the other side of the road there, so they are exceptionally close and we can enjoy the sights, maybe the odd wave from the flight deck. They go up this little hill, hopefully you can make out the little hill there, and then they turn on to 09 for their departure in an easterly direction. Hopefully it won't be too long before we see any more of that this morning. The sound you can hear there is a lawnmower in the golf club behind. And I'm just looking at the arrival data now. It doesn't look like we've got all the entirely correct information at the moment, so let's have a look. Looks like we have something in half hour on the arrivals. In fact, about 3, and then just a kind of constant stream of arrivals from them. We do tend to arrive early just so that we can kind of set up and get over any internet issues and things like that, which you've seen in the past, if the opportunity is, of course, there to get around them. And prepare ourselves so that we are here for when things get a little bit more exciting. In the meantime, let's have a look and see if I can find out what's going on the departure front for you. Let's give you a bit of a windsock action. Look at that. Exciting stuff, eh? Departures. So we'll be seeing a Ryanair 737-800, I believe, shortly, and also plenty of EasyJet action as well. TUI 787-800 is due out to Melbourne at 12:20 today, so that will be an exceptional sight as it comes right past us here in about an hour's time, so stick around for that, won't you? Just going to have a quick chat with a fellow spotter, so just bear with me.
don't miss that anyway.
Hi everybody, welcome to Bristol Airport. Sorry, I was just nattering there. We've got a fellow spotter who's on tour around the country and Bristol isn't 100% familiar to him, so I was just explaining not to miss the Dreamliner as it's such a rare sight here at Bristol, and it will be even more so soon. I think we may be up for a passing EasyJet very shortly for a departure. Nothing on the horizon at the moment. You won't miss anything though, don't worry, you won't miss anything. Yeah, we've got an A321, which is going to be making its way to Glasgow. It's Uniform Zulu Mike Hotel if you're tracking these type of things. And we'll have the benefit of that coming straight past us in just a second, which means also I'm just going to take the chance, the opportunity to just rebalance. I don't know how I managed to move the camera so much just on the odd pan that it requires rebalancing, but there we are. So be it. So you might be able to hear that engine starting now. You probably can't see it though. Very quiet on the chat this morning. If you are around, do say hello. Not seeing anybody on there at the moment. Probably on account of the terrible performance of the last stream. And who could blame anybody? Ah, there we are. Right on cue. ERB, good morning everyone. Welcome ERB, welcome to the channel. Hope we find you well this morning. We're here in anticipation of a busier rush to the day here at Bristol, but wanted to get in here early. Have to turn down that echo. A321 on the way. Also, I do see above us a nice sight. I love these air shots when the weather allows it. I absolutely love these trail shots, I should say. I'd love to do a show just to bring you these. We can't go any further that one due to the sunshine, I'm afraid. So, EasyJet A321 to come past us very, very shortly. ERB, yes, all very good here. We are glad to be back and glad to have a working internet signal, because the last time we did a stream last Saturday it was nothing but a disaster. And unfortunately, when our mobile provider lets us down, there's not very much we can actually do about it. Very little we can do about it. But today, I'm seeing what I think is a spanking signal, so hopefully you're getting these images very clear. And in a moment you can enjoy the sight of a glorious EasyJet A321 coming past us. Touching distance. It's on its way up to us now. Absolutely amazing, isn't it, to hear those hushed engines from the back. It's such a noticeable difference. Wish I could pass on this jet smell to you as well, folks. The Jet A1 smell, absolutely beautiful. A little light aircraft just sneaked in there, look. Darlow's here, morning Darlow. Oh, don't worry, last Saturday you wouldn't have seen anything, Darlow. It was absolutely awful. Nothing worked, so I went home. You missed absolutely nothing. I still haven't managed to get on one of these yet. On a 321 Neo, and I would dearly love to. Hit it. We just lose it for a little bit there in this position, folks, but we are greeted with a fabulous lift-off angle here. So it swings and roundabouts. Sounds to me like another one to come past us in just a second. I know we've been waiting for a 737-800 from Ryanair. And of course, coming a little bit later today, allegedly, if it doesn't get cancelled, the Dreamliner. I think we've exhausted that one now. That is quite a long way out now, as you can see. But hopefully another one for you on the taxi very, very shortly. We'll keep our eye on the horizon. In terms of arrivals, I think we're looking in about 10 minutes or so. The plane we were just zoomed in on that departure is now south of Bristol, to give you an idea of the range we were zooming there. The Barrow Inverness to Bristol arrival, which is a King Air 250, will be here in about 5 minutes or so. I'm seeing an inbound Palmer, which is just to the west of Tiverton in South Devon. And I'm seeing an inbound Malaga, which has just entered the South Devon coastline by Plymouth. Oh, I tell a lie, to the east of Plymouth. Berry Head, of course, which is the location, if you've ever flown that route. Very familiar sight if it's clear out the window, that beautiful South Devon coastline. Right. Lots of noise, as you can hear, but not much to show for it. But as soon as there is something to show for it, I will show you it. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Mike Wild, very good morning to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look at this, sorry folks, just sneaked in. What a lovely day to be doing some GA. Yeah, definitely think 737 about to come past. This is off to Gdansk, and it is a 737-800 with Ryanair. Feel that, folks. Woo. Oh, Darlow, you're into your football. I went to a massive fixture last week. Fleetwood Town versus Tranmere Rovers. What an experience. Wait here for this one. I mean, if you are a Jet A1 addict, this is the place to stand, I tell you now. nobody waving at us, unfortunately. Right, we do have an inbound, so let's catch that for you now. Struggle to see where it is. There it is. This is the Barrow and Finesse service we'll tell you about earlier. Come on, man, sort it out. What are you doing? Size perspective for you. And that's a service we quite often see here, Barrow and Finesse. You may also see it leave earlier. Let's just leave that open there for you for a moment. Thanks for the kind words, ERB, much appreciated. See, it's not just a plane stream here either. You get some quality football chat from Darlow and knows his stuff. You could have a complete roundup. We could have Sky Sports on the ropes at this rate. They can't bring you arrivals and departures live from Bristol like we can, as well as some fantastic sports news. Absolutely not. See if I can get through there. Look, there you go. Sun not quite right to let us get into the cockpit, sadly. Now you don't see it. Now you do see it. Sky for inbounds. We haven't had a proper jet, if you will, come in yet. The noise you hear is me swiping away insects. Well, the rugby was obviously, Lord Darlow, a fantastic result the other night. We cannot complain with that, about that, can we?
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yes, you too. No problem. You're not going to see the Dreamliner.
Yeah. What time is it?
About half hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah, apparently.
Let's go around and I will come back. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Might see you again. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. It's half an hour. It's not a long.
No, not at all. Just chatting to a spotter who's come down on his bike today, a motorbike.
Coming from there or?
What their Dreamliner's taken off. So the Dreamliner is just on the ground now,
Yeah.
and will come past here and then take off.
Take off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's if it doesn't get cancelled. Take care. Put that on there for a minute, because I think it's probably a better position for nattering away. Do have an inbound. Nice gentleman, disappears on his bike. I was just chatting with him. You know, after this I really do need to get some suntan lotion, as the sun is coming out at quite an angle. Quite a force, sorry. Now I've walked off. That's why the microphone has to be attached to me. Oh, for goodness sake. Let's try that, see if that works. One of those days here where the weather's definitely having its moments. This is an inbound from Palmer with EasyJet. Lovely, that's our first inbound of the day. Quite a few to come. Don't go anywhere. Just give me a second to get a little bit of suntan lotion on, otherwise I'm going to go a funny colour, that's for sure. Don't be fooled by the impression of being efficient, by the way, just because I've got some suntan lotion here. It's only because I've been shouted at by the missus. Planecaster sponsored today by Riemann P20. Surely the best suntan lotion you can get. Although it doesn't really win on the smell stakes, because if you want to win on that stake, surely it has to be the glorious smell of Amber Solaire or Tropica. I don't know if either of them are really good, but they smell good. Right. Now, in a further fit of amazing preparation, I'm just going to use some hand gel I've got in here to get the suntan off my hands. Suntan lotion off my hands, I should say. Sun got behind the clouds for a little bit, which is definitely good. Almost a direct reaction to me putting suntan lotion on, of course. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me, folks. Didn't miss anything, don't worry. Okay. Oh, ERB, wouldn't that be amazing? An A350 to this airport? I very much doubt it, unless there's something of an emergency. But I have been wrong before. Inbound on the way now, which is up here. Struggling a bit with the focus today, isn't it? I think we've got a fair bit of heat haze here today. Now that summer's over, obviously it gets hot. That classic British ironic way. And that is the unfussed arrival of a 737 MAX 8, I suspect. Yes, it is. So the ITA A350 looks fantastic. I'll need to check that out. Yeah, Darlow, I think you're right. It's unlikely at Bristol purely because the runway isn't massive, and we do also suffer from unpredictable weather a little bit more here in winter, particularly low cloud, that sort of thing. So, you know, if they wanted a visual landing, then sometimes Bristol lets the side down in that respect. Got something up here. Yeah, quickly before we lose it. Damn. That looked great, didn't it? Whatever that was. Don't know if we're going to get another tiny glimpse of it as it comes between these two clouds here. Reveal yourself. Where are you? There, just there. No. No, we're going to lose it now in the big cloud, I'm afraid. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. Something else coming in now on the horizon. Let us bring that to you now. Never be concerned, by the way, if it's quiet when I start, because the idea is the time I give normally is the latest possible time we'll start. With the idea being that when I arrive it's pretty quiet, and then we don't then miss it during the setup process all the good stuff. Sun's gone in again, we'll definitely take that. Oh, nobody likes to hear the anthem booing, do they? That's not really cricket or rugby or football or any sport. Although possibly there are some certain exceptions at the moment. Certain countries in the world causing problems, but we won't go into that. So it's a lovely day here at the airport, just alternating between cloudy and sunny. When it is sunny, it's very, very warm. The winds are minimal, mostly down the runway. I was expecting 27 today from looking at the forecast earlier in the week, but it looks like 09, which means we can have this amazing position, particularly on a Wednesday, because there's always a little bit of space down here midweek compared to the weekend. Oops, good news, folks. Dreamliner's pushing back there, so yeah, there you go. So the Dreamliner is pushing back. We'll be able to bring that to you in just a second. It's going to come straight past us and it's going to be glorious. Something of a shock that it appears ahead of schedule. Folks, if you are new to us today, please do press that subscribe button. It would be amazing to have you join us on regular occasion on our streams live here from Bristol Airport. It means the world to us. If you press the subscribe button, if you press the like button on the stream, then it instantly puts it out to other people as well, which is helps us out no end. So thank you very much in advance for that. There's a little sight of the Dreamy for you. You'll get a much better view in just a few minutes. Nothing coming in now. So we'll stay on this view for a second, folks. Hear those massive engines. Now this one is off to Melbourne in Florida. Not the other Melbourne. Although the precursor to TUI used to do flights to Melbourne. Do you remember that? Britannia used to get their brand new 767s and fly them right down to Melbourne. Not sure I'd have fancied that in economy. Quite a few more departures to come as well, and we have an arrival as well for you. We have a Venice to Bristol arrival from 737 MAX 8200. This is Echo India Hotel Echo Victor. Definitely going to go for a bit of a sweet spot here now, I think. This inbound is going to have a wonderful view of that Dreamliner as it comes in, as will the passengers on the left hand side. Sounds like the Dreamliner is on the move now, so we'll just catch this in and then we will swap straight to the Dreamliner from TUI, Boeing 7878. Sorry folks, slightly distracted, don't want to miss that Dreamliner for you. Right, so from a smaller Boeing to a much bigger Boeing. Some thunderous noise here, almost like the wings are going to go over the top of us here. Enjoy this, folks. And as you can see, those beautiful wings are so big for this airport. Right, let's see if we can get a hello from anybody in there. The sun might not be optimum for that today. So this is Mrs. Patmore, who we do see here frequently. There is a Mr. Patmore as well. What a fabulous place to stop. And the reason they're stopping is that we do have an inbound, so we're going to focus you away from this for just a second. Just show you the majestic sight of that. Tango uniform. India is the registration of that one. But we're going to swing it around quickly and catch the inbound. You can enjoy the soundtrack of that behind us. And in fact, it's very much going to be in the way of this landing plane, but we don't mind. It's the Dreamliner, we will allow that. Now he's moving. I'm sure you won't mind, folks, if we catch the Dreamliner. A thumbs up from the brilliant crew. And there she goes. That beautiful Dreamliner right past us, his massive engines purring, and right behind her, an EasyJet landing. What's not to like? I mean, come on, we got it all here today for you. Let's go back to the main event though. Lots of waving from inside the cockpit, which is always really appreciated. We're all kids at heart here, aren't we? Let's face it. I know I am. Beautiful shots, absolutely stunning. TUI 7878 Dreamliner. That is Golf Tango Uniform India, India. Mrs. Patmore. Not sure I've ever seen Mr. Patmore though. It definitely does exist. A few of the Dreamliners got nice names. I've been on Alfie before, and I've been on Neil, and the plane is just called Neil. Let's see if we can get through here on the focus a bit better. There you go. The captain's up to now. Sorry folks. All action stops when there's a wasp flying at me. And just so we don't miss it, folks, almost like a wasp is chasing him. The fastest ever bit of taxiing past us. Almost like they're camera shy. I mean, come on. Come on, guys. Anyway, Dreamliner's on the roll. Enjoy the noise. She majestically goes. On a lovely little jaunt down to Florida. We wish all of those on board a very pleasant journey. And we don't want to miss what is coming past us here. number 1 for departure is this Jet 2 plane, 737-800, and this one is off to Paphos. Doesn't look like they're hanging around either. Bit of a busy period at the moment, folks, so sorry I haven't got to the chat. Hope you're enjoying the sights. It was great to see the Dreamliner go, it really was. So that's your Jet 2 to Paphos. If you're due to be on that, you've missed it. I can categorically say you've missed it. And a little prop job for you as well now. Going out as well. Take care. A fellow spotter came back for the Dreamliner. Hopefully he wasn't disappointed at that. Got a fantastic sight, didn't we? Let's just there you go. Release the brakes and action. He's like, where's that handbrake button gone? It's not where it normally is. There we go. We're off. Didn't take long to lift off, did it? Let's just do a long shot on that for a moment. I'm just going to make some corrections to some wires here. That's better. Oh, what a fab little session that was, eh? Fantastic chat. And lots of appreciation there for the Dreamliner, I think. Dave the Dreamliner. Danny, you missed the chance to bag a cheap deal. Yeah, I know. Might have something in the pipeline though, Lord Darlow. If the missus can make up her mind, we might actually be going somewhere. But, you know, sometimes these things just are out of your hands. Yeah, good old Trigger. Yeah, great chat, and feel free to say hello this morning. It is not a closed shop. You're very welcome to come and say hi if you're watching us this morning. And thank you if you are one of our new subscribers this morning. I did see reference to a new subscriber. Let me just check who that was. I don't get the names of everybody, otherwise I would read them out. So Manosh Kumar.c, welcome to the channel. It's great to have you here today. plenty to come. Let me have a quick look and give you the extent of that. We've got some arrivals coming in. Looks like the 12:35 Dublin arrival from Ryanair is quite badly late. It doesn't appear to be in the air yet. We've got at 12:44 you can expect a 7378 Max 8, and that's from TUI. You can expect A320, and we've got a number of flights in at that point in the 1 o'clock hour, 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock hour, so it should be nice and busy, and that actually is happening right now. I wonder if that is now that Dublin departure I can see in the distance. Let me just double check. No, this is Marseille to Bristol with Ryanair that I'm about to show you. Let's get on that straight away. Right. I think this is... I couldn't possibly comment, folks. Just seeing the comments on the chat, I couldn't possibly comment. Hey folks, while we've got time as well, let's have a little shout out for any other great streams you've watched earlier or channels. Feel free to mention them on here. There is no such policy of not mentioning our peers. We are delighted to be amongst such brilliant streamers up and down the country, so if you want to give them a shout now, feel free to. I know Think Planes are doing amazing work. The quality of their stuff is just incredible. And Aviation Hunters, a big shout out to you guys as well. Occasional Bristol visitors as well. Did you hear that little squeak? Fantastic little squeak from the wheels there. Not sure if you heard it. Yes, continuing with that, our friends at Plain Sailing Aviation. They are based at Newcastle, but travel around. You get quite a lot of Scottish action from those guys as well, Scottish airport action. So big up to those. And Blue Sky Aviation, a bit of Leeds Bradford action, and some East Midlands and other stuff there. Make sure you get yourself sorted and subscribe to those channels as well, because the content from them is fantastic. And the reason that Planecaster exists, frankly, is because it was inspired by the quality of some of these other broadcasters. And of course, how did I even forget STTV, of course. If you want your London airport action, STTV is there. What day is it today? Wednesday. So Wednesday afternoon, isn't it? Stansted Airport. Tomorrow morning it will be Gatwick Airport. And Friday, London City Airport in the afternoon for the tea time rush. And then Saturday he'll be at Heathrow early doors. That's what you can expect with STTV from London. All great channels, really recommend them. Oh yeah, Blue Sky does Leeds as well, yep. Yep, it's on a very good hill, isn't it? Leeds Airport, it's crazy. Oh yeah, Lord Darlow. I need to get that sorted. Let me send a request now, see if it works. The request has been put in, Darlo. If I get a text back with a voice note, I'll play it. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, yep. Airport action. Forgot Kev and the crew down at airport, Birmingham airport primarily, but I know Kev travels around every now and again. And on the subject of London City, I did a short recently when I was down in that area, and if you didn't see that short of the position that you can have at London City Airport, then I really do need to get down there. I need to kind of make arrangements to make it happen. We have had an initial refusal. She says she can't do it properly, Darlo. I mean, let's face it, we're all going to be impressed if we're English, because it will still sound right to us, won't it? Helicopter! Is that the electricity one? Right against the sun here, folks. Let's have a look. Yeah, it may be coming around actually for an approach. Here we go. Or maybe not. We'll see. If it comes closer, we'll grab it. Absolutely baking here again now, folks, as you can probably see, but the lovely thing is there's lots of clouds. There's in and out. It's like being in the microwave when you put it on a lower setting and then the microwave comes on for a minute and goes off for 20 seconds, then back on again. That's how I would liken it. Morning. Cyclist just going past. Ah, yes, absolutely. Airport Action's done LCY on the bank holiday. Yes, I did see that, and they did a bit of Heathrow as well, didn't they? All three. So, fantastic stuff from Kev. Quick drink of water. Absolutely gasping here. Arrivals and departures to come, folks. Don't panic. Just a little quiet period. Oh, ERB's off. See you now. ERB, thanks for turning up today, and thanks for coming. Sorry you got to go to work. Bad news. Thanks for your company today. Really appreciate you joining us. First person on our chat to say hi today. So you definitely kind of get a spiritual award for that. $25 of you with us at the moment. Welcome to each and every one of you. If you haven't pressed that subscribe button, you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you? If you could, that would be amazing. Thank you very much. Now, there's something up there, but I don't think we're going to have a chance to catch it before it disappears again. Look. I will keep my eyes open for any other trails of distinction. Definitely a better day for it. Now look, I can't feel any wind here because I'm right beside a bush, but I mean, that looks quite epic there, doesn't it? There is a bit behind me next to the golf course which is open. Just going to go and check that out for a second. Wow, so you stand here, you can't see where I am, just behind the car, and the quality of the air coming through there is lovely, so I might just stay here for a second until it goes in the clouds. See right through to the golf course there. Anybody play golf here? Not my sort of game at all, I'm terrible at it, absolutely terrible. Right, what we can see out here, I don't know if you can see it like I can see it. There. Managed to catch it on the turn. sound you can hear behind us, by the way, or over the top of that landing is not that plane landing. Right, got a bit of jip. Little bit of signal problem there, I can see that, folks. Hopefully we'll hope that comes back and sorts itself out. Thank goodness it didn't do that during the thing. The what's the word I'm looking for? But during the Dreamliner. My missus does belt out the Welsh accent, the Welsh anthem in a beautiful Welsh accent, knows all the words, but that gets belted out during any match. And a glorious anthem it is too. You want to hear that in the Principality Stadium and it just sounds absolutely fantastic. Yes, I think someone's mowing the grass in the thing behind us. It's not the sound of a dodgy aircraft engine. There were some lovely butterflies here just now. I don't want to, unnecessarily turn this into a nature program, but the quality of butterflies here was quite spectacular. There must be a little nest of them or something. Let me show you as well. Not the butterflies, but the quality of foraging around here should be quite spectacular. Oh, there's a butterfly there. There's a butterfly. Just there. Just chilling out, doing its thing. Technically it's a flying thing, okay? I am kind of almost fulfilling the remit of the channel to bring you flying things. It's not doing much flying at the minute, I suppose. Anyway, let's turn that round. We might accidentally bring you some world-leading golf coverage from the golf course behind us and break Sky Sports rules or something. Might be their coverage. Oh look, now there's a million of them. Now there's a million butterflies around here. And once again, I think I've missed them all. Just that one. It's definitely like a nest around here of lots of them flapping around. I think it's when the cars go past, perhaps they are slightly disturbed. You're live at Bristol Airport today, folks. Don't believe what it says about 12 degrees. I'm just going to fix that now. It's definitely a lot warmer in that. We need to update the weather, don't we? Behold, in just a second you should see the correct temperature. And let's have a look and see what we can expect in terms of some action for you today, because that's what you're here for, isn't it? You've missed the first batch, which was amazing, but I'm sure we've got plenty more for you. Yeah, I should have done the Attenborough voice, you're right, darling. Absolutely should have done that. Okay. Changed some settings last night to help recover from network issues, and perhaps the fact it's recovered means that's a good sign. Let's hope so. We have an inbound from Ibiza. It's a 737 MAX 8 from TUI. I don't think, and I know I've said this a couple of times, but just to be clear, I don't think I've seen a regular 737 from TUI from the airport forever. So just be an entirely max fleet here now. So if you want to fly the max, get on a TUI flight and you will be guaranteed. Behind that Ibiza is the inbound Malaga. That's another 737 MAX 8 from TUI. I can see a little bit of flicker on the screen then, but hopefully it will recover. We've got a Dubrovnik to Bristol coming in as well. What you're seeing in terms of the screen dropping out, folks, and I assume the sound isn't completely losing the plot as well, so you can actually hear me say this. What you're seeing is just mobile signal degrading. The codec we use is supposed to be able to cope with it, and although you might lose the picture temporarily, it should recover. Notice how I said should. Lovely bit of general aviation on a Wednesday. Can't say fairer than that, can you? Right, I'm going to point this at the sky because we're going to see an inbound 737. Wow, you're doing amazing with the A380s there, Darla. You must love that. Seeing that come over. What a treat. What a real treat. Being a little bit dive bombed by butterflies at the moment, and actually it's kind of cool. The one insect I think I can tolerate being dive bombed by. Just keep me away from the wasps and the bees to some extent. Okay, there's your first one. Series of arrivals now here at Bristol. Tuned into Planecaster, I'm Danny. Good afternoon. Time is 20 to 1. We're on a slight delay here, by the way, at the request of the airport, so don't worry if things don't quite marry up with your radar box, your flight planner, your plane finder, whatever app you choose to use. It's all good. All intentional. By the way, if you're watching us on any other platform, apologies if you've tried to speak to us on there. We can't actually communicate with you on Facebook Live, Twitch or Kick because we don't have the ability to bring together all the chat at the moment. So unfortunately, I will see your messages after the stream, but I won't be able to reply to them during, so apologies for that. However, you are very welcome to come and join us on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search Planecaster, and you'll see our live stream before your very eyes, and you can join in the chat and chat to Darlo, who's knows a lot about football and planes and probably many other things, so you can have a good chat with him about that. Lovely stuff, and I can already see on approach the next one, which they kind of arrived very similar times from different directions, so one of them's done a bit of a circuit. Is that it there? Yeah, we'll just keep that in mind as well for you. Whoops, steady. Easy does it. Whoops. This tripod's being very stubborn today. KD Kendi has subscribed. Welcome. And Manoj Kumar C, which we mentioned earlier, Thank you very much, folks. And I know probably more of you have subscribed than just the two there, but that's what YouTube decides to tell me. Seems to be entirely random. Hey, good news. We've been seeing some planes come in, which means we're going to get a few compasters soon on departure, right in front of us, touchable almost, which is always fun. And I say that because I can hear things behind me. Don't be alarmed, folks. It's not a Goblin landing. It's our friends at Goblin Parking. That was almost a little bit scary, wasn't it? All right, there we are, and another one on distant departure, arrival even. Should know those words by now, shouldn't I? Let's have a look here now. Sorry folks, try to do two things at once. Here we go though. Dino, I can see you typing lots of stuff. Apologies I don't get time to look at it and respond to it. I will always have a look after the end of the stream. There's a little bit more time then on my hands. Nice little flurry of arrivals though here at Bristol Airport. It's not over. There's a Porto to Bristol, which is one of the EasyJet Europe services, coming in soon. Belfast to Bristol, coming over the channel, just to the east of Cardiff at the moment. And I think soon some departures, which we can look forward to, which will be really good. And in some ways, like a really indirect way of seeing that we've got departures coming up is just seeing the amount of times the car park, the Goblin car park van comes past with loads of people being taken to the airport after dropping off their cars. Just about hear the voices of golfers behind me, as there's a golf course directly behind this particular viewing spot. The bad thing about this spot really is I've got nothing to show you. When there's nothing going on, that's about the most exciting thing I can bring you. Unless we try and bring you championship golf or a bit of wildlife. Looking for trails, and it's an empty sky at the moment, sadly. Could do with the clouds coming along again. The clouds are getting fewer and further between, so it's getting a little bit warmer here. Inbound Belfast is your next arrival. It's currently at 3,700 feet. It's Golf Echo Zulu Whiskey Romeo. It's over the English Channel, Bristol Channel, sorry, and it is just making a left turn onto 09, where it will become visible to us all the way down to the ground. And it's Golf Echo Zulu Whiskey Romeo A320 CEO. The heart has returned. What is going on with the heart? Does anybody know what it means? I could try clicking it, couldn't I? Oh, it's just giving me... Oh, it's just emojis. I have to say, I never know what that's doing. Anyway, let's catch that inbound Belfast for you now. and slowly because you can't quite see it. There we are. I think just glistening in the sky around there somewhere. It is for sure a glorious day, but also a scorchy one standing here. A little bit of respite coming up for 3 or 4 minutes as the sun goes behind the clouds. In fact, to be technically correct, I imagine the cloud goes in front of the sun. But who's counting? As the various cars come past here on their way to the car park or the viewing areas, they're like, what's going on here? A man with a camera? He must be dodgy. Expecting a nice little selection of departures for you soon, thanks to the well-known quick turnaround of these low-cost airlines, and TUI here as well. So you've got some TUI, some Ryanair and some EasyJet departures, all to look forward to, all in glorious close-up action as they come past us before we go today. So looking forward to that. Don't go anywhere. And if I may just remind you once more, if you are new to the channel, please do press that subscribe button, as it will do us the world of good. Won't cost you anything, but it will really help us spread the word. Thank you. Do have another arrival almost immediately. I thought I caught a glimpse of it just as this one was coming in. Unusual at Bristol to see two in the distance at once, so I dismissed it, but I was right. We should have a sound effect for that, shouldn't we? On the rare occasions that I say something that's correct. Look at that, I just got that lined up perfectly and then bashed it. Crikey. Right. How are we doing? Signal working all right now? Are we holding up? Good stuff. Darlow's on to mentioning Queen songs now. Nothing wrong with that, that's for sure. Sorry for the inability of it to focus properly today, folks. It does happen sometimes when it's hot and bright. This is that Porto to Bristol service I was telling you about. This is one of the OE registrations, and this one originates not from Bristol but from Lisbon, I think. Yeah, so the registration of that one is Oscar Echo Indigo Julia Oscar. So it's Oscar Echo India Julia Oscar, I think. Let's just double check that. Yep, let's show you some details and see where that one's been to recently. Seven 300 going over the top of us, allegedly. It's not anywhere I can see it, sadly. It's going from Prague to JFK. Ah, right, okay, I'm looking in the wrong place. I'm going to go to the south of us, where the clouds are, typically. Never mind. Right, must be due for some departure soon, here at Bristol. Lanzarote service, which is going to be an A320 Neo with EasyJet and an A320 CEO. Back to Belfast soon, I think. Transponder's not quite showing the right information on that one, so I might be looking at the arrival that hasn't switched off yet, but there we are. I'm sure at some point we'll see another one out to Belfast. That's normally the way it goes here, isn't it? I don't think my attempt to bring you some information about the other aircraft there worked very well, did it? Never mind. These things happen. I know I say it every week, but every week we do a little bit more of code on the new version of the Planecaster software. But I want to make sure it's right before we bring it to the test environment. It's annoying when it shows the wrong things, and that's definitely something that's my responsibility rather than our data provider, so I want to make sure we're as accurate as possible. Can hear a plane coming up here now, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is to our CFI in Lanzarote. This is your Golf Uniform Zulu Hotel Zulu registration. Hopefully the sun will stay just behind the clouds. There's that 767, by the way, I think. It's off to JFK while we've just got a quick second. to that we can get. Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? I feel like there's a bit of auto, what's it, kind of working against me there on the camera. Anyway, let's enjoy this. It's not hanging around, but it is a beautiful Neo. They're waiting for no one. Do have another flyover in a second. Let's have a quick look what that is, because it looks huge. So this is an A350 9 series, 900 series, and it's 36,000 feet. It's a Delta airline service from Amsterdam to Atlanta. We might be able to have a quick look at that before we pass up to the takeoff. Beautiful A350. Maybe, if we've got any streamers at Heathrow today, and you'll see them take off from there, and then you can watch them fly over us. Let's show you the takeoff of this beauty. Sorry about the light, folks, we are kind of right against the sun here. See that one come up. Completely missed that look. Another one to come right past us. Little period of action again here at Bristol. Something about Cardiff Airport on the chat. It is a weird one, Cardiff. It's a great airport to fly through. If I get the chance, I'd take it. Sorry folks, not so good on that, not so good on the camera work there. Lost my balance a bit, sorry. Now, when they stop here, it's normally an indication that A, they're not ready, or B, there's one coming in. And in this case, there is an Alicante service from EasyJet to turn on to finals. Probably is time for it to go, but I don't know if they want to rush it. Just looking to see if there's anything else we can bring yet. Excitement, probably not at the moment. Can hear some more engines warming up behind me. I'm not sure if you can hear them on the stream. Sound like Neo engines or 737 Max 8 engines. Such a distinctive boom. Just find the sound to them very, 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 very cool. Bristol de Béziers, which is the 737 Max 8 200, is the Ryanair site that's just come onto the radar, which is probably what we can hear starting up in that case. And this one waiting to go is off to Ibiza, which is jolly nice. So it's an inbound from Alicante, then an outbound to Ibiza. And speaking of that inbound, we can now catch that in the sky, I think. Oh no, we're not going to go now, is he? Blimey. This doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. This is going to be a turn and burn if ever there was one. Right, Ibiza, off you go. Alicante's waiting. Not too far behind you. That's more like it. Fantastic. As that one leaves the ground, there, to give you an idea, we'll turn the camera. You'll see one coming right over the threshold just as we speak now. Maybe over the threshold was a bit of an exaggeration, but it seemed very, very close. Great work though, no messing around, keeping things super efficient, keeping the plane schedules as tight as possible. Another departure behind me, I think I can hear. See in just a second. Just swing the camera around. Indeed. That one having an absolutely cool name, Wayne Fisher. No doubt there's a story behind that. I'd love to know it if anybody on the chat knows it. EasyJet aircraft there called Wayne Fisher. again, shall we? You can definitely see the sunglass in effect, can't you? As the turn was made. Ryanair about to depart as well. So we'll cross over to that. So we'd love to see these close-up shots, don't we, folks? There we go. Sometimes the timing just crosses over, doesn't it? Anyway, really didn't miss much of that because we've just got it on the lift off now, look, folks. So there it is. Another inbound as well, which is what this Ryanair is now waiting for. Is this our visit from the Embraer? I think KLM. Looks like it from this distance. Must surely be. Ryanair is winding up now for its departure. It's 180 turn around the end of the runway and then comes straight past us. Got an Embraer Legacy coming in from Manchester. Next. That's the one with some kind of flag-like livery on the tail. From Centerline Aviation. You've probably seen it here before and in other airports and on other streams, but it's coming into us. Flight from Manchester down to Bristol. That'll be our next arrival. Got dinner sorted, a chip butty, says Darlo. Oh my god. Lucky man, that would go down so well right now. I have, for the entirety of my lunch, a banana, but I'm holding back until the end of this stream when I shall go down to the awesome Touts garage down the road and get myself a splendid meal deal. The world's always better with a meal deal, isn't it? It's quite good value at Touts as well. Highly recommend them. They're in the village just down on the A38. About 5-6 miles south of the airport, I would say, something like that. So that Embraer, small Embraer, Centerline Aviation, is in the distance, but we'll see this one off first. We're going to have to leave that. So that Embraer is very close. It's Centerline Aviation, this one, private flight. Seems to do a bit of a float, that one. We couldn't quite see it from here, but the angle suggested that maybe there was a little bit of float going on. Right, it was a nice little period, wasn't it? That thing you're talking about, Darlo, on Google Maps, I think that there was some sort of action by Google to kind of use various images, composite images they had of the airport, to get rid of them, basically. So you could see properly what the aircraft ground looked like. That was what I heard, but I might be wrong. I may be wrong. Looks like a helicopter on its way in. That's from Newquay. I don't know if it's on its way to here, actually, having said that, but it came from Newquay. And in terms of departures, we've got something from Ryanair. Sharm el Sheikh from TUI, 737 MAX 8. So that'll be good. Chippy chips to black country, orange battered chips, the best chips in the world. Yes, I'm biased. Hey, everybody loves their own chippy. It's kind of like a rule, isn't it? Right, there's the helicopter, I think. Saw earlier. Come on, there we are. And a lovely sight to come past us. So we'll keep the camera in that direction. See what we can get from the cockpit here. can't tell you where this is off to because it's not properly shown on the radar. All I can tell you is it's India Delta Charlie Yankee. That's the registration. Another one starting up behind. Can you hear that one? Lovely stuff. Hope you're enjoying the action from Bristol Airport here today. My name's Danny, and channel's called Planecaster here every week from Bristol Airport, giving you a little snippet of the action that happens in one of the UK's largest regional airports. Something on an inbound now, Alicante to Bristol is a Jet 2 service, 737-800. That is the next thing you will see landing here at Planecaster, and also I think some a departure fairly close by. And actually, as I look out now, that is definitely not a 737-800. So I lied. The next jet you see land will be a 737-800. Let's put it that way. Right, let's have a look for the 7. There we are. 737-800 in the sky now. About there. We've got a TUI coming up as well, so it might take a Trying to work out what's going to be here first. We might switch around to the TUI coming past because it's nice and close, but we'll see. We're not rushing like the other airlines. But I am going to switch to it. I hope you don't mind, folks. We don't get to see these close up very often these days, so let's let me focus. That'll be 737 MAX 8. First officer just puts away the checklist there, or gets the checklist out. Something went onto the dashboard anyway. There we are. Sorry we missed the inbound there. We wouldn't have seen it anyway, but as it goes behind, the lands behind kind of where they pass. But what a sight, what a beautiful sight, eh? Absolutely lovely. TUI do make their 737 MAX 8 look pretty damn nice. From where I'm standing now, almost silent, as you can probably hear, which is a real testament to the hush qualities of the engine. Now you can hear it again just a little bit. But, I mean, that plane really isn't far away, so it is pretty incredible. Some sort of weird auto correction going on there. And everything is switched off on the camera, that's what's really annoying. So the only movements you should be seeing are mine, but there we are. Have to check the camera firmware and do some little checks. See if there's any changes we can make there. That's the first real wind in this position today, and it's actually quite pleasant, I don't mind telling you. Another inbound on the way. Corfu service from Jet2, Golf Juliet Zulu, Bravo Sierra. Somebody calling 4 there on their shot. And the golf course behind me. Brilliant. That's a Jet 2 Corfu arrival. Coming next is a Previsa arrival. EasyJet, Echo Zulu, Tango Alpha is the registration. Just time for me to get a quick glug of drink. Right, let's bring that to you now. Down there somewhere. There we are. Actually, I've got something else to bring you here, folks. Hold on. Hold on just a minute if we're in time. Oh, it's going to go into the cloud. It's just a bit murky, isn't it? Sorry, folks. It's right under the sun. That's why we have the problem as well. Right, let's bring this to you. Tremendous stuff. Lots happening today, isn't there? And you're very, very welcome to our stream here at Bristol Airport. Hope that we find you well today, and hope that you're enjoying the action. Probably here for another half hour to an hour or so. That's the sign that the pilots see just before takeoff, just before they turn onto the runway, I should say. Still got some weird movement in there, haven't I? To get used to that. Try and work out what's doing that. In terms of the chat, let's have a look. Who's with us today? Darlo. Bristol was where you were born, Darlo. I did not know that. Have you ever told me that before? Is that just something I imagined? Flybe did serve Bristol and also Cardiff, and now you're starting to make me doubt Bristol. No, I'm sure they did serve Bristol. TUI Dreamliner over me on approach to Birmingham Airport, runway 15. That's says Darlu, who's based up in. I know it now. Where you said you are based up in Darlaston. The clue's in the name, really, wasn't it? Next arrival now from Palma de Mallorca, another Jet 2 service, Juliet Zulu Bravo Lima. And that is on approach now. If you did just find us today, folks, thank you very much for doing that. Don't forget to press that subscribe button so that you can catch our future streams here from Bristol and other airports. You know, I definitely want to do something from London City. Obviously, I don't want to clash with your regular Friday afternoon action from SDTV, so it wouldn't be then, but yeah, it would be lovely to bring you all the action from there. The views are just stunning. And I imagine, pray, that the bandwidth in London available from the mobile networks would be awesome as well, so bringing you a good signal and a good solid stream. Ah, right. Born in Birmingham, right? Okay. I thought you said you were born in Bristol there. Gives you a great connection to the show. But we will accept Birmingham and the throbbing metropolis of Darlaston as well. Almost through in the shot. Okay. Next arrival in about 3 or 4 minutes is the Palma Mallorca from Ryanair this time, and that's Echo India Golf X-Ray, which is a 737 MAX 8200. There's a Girona to Bristol, to the north of Tiverton, and there is, well, that's off to Manchester. That's a Marrakesh flight off to Manchester, but coming up on the same airway, if you will, or very similar airways. What else can we expect into Bristol? We're indeed out of Bristol. Let's see if there's anything due for departure. The KLM is on the scope, so we should be seeing that Embraer come past us soon. Focusing on that, it's quite cool. Bear with me 1 second, folks. pre-landing snack. Sorry folks, thanks for bearing with me. Hello Flying Welshman, how are you doing? IGX is a really clean aircraft, one of the newer ones we have. Oh, that's fantastic. And hello from the resident Ryanair cabin crew. I'm going backwards with these messages, by the way, the Flying Welshman, but welcome to the stream. Great to have your company with us today. I am hoping this stream is the only glimpse of Bristol Airport that I see today, since I'm on standby. Sending you good vibes for that. Still plenty of departures to go, isn't there? So anyway, we're not going to jinx it. We're absolutely not going to jinx it. Now, anything in the sky that's of interest? No, the clouds are just come past a bit. Made it a bit impossible, I'm afraid. Which is a shame, because you have a lovely 787X. 787-8 even. Going above the 7 at the moment, River 7. Our next arriver's in from Girona, that's a 737-800. Echo India, Echo November Mike. Tell us about that one, Flying Welshman. Echo November Mike. Oh, that's a great question, Lord Darlow. I'd like to hear the answer to that one as well, Mr. Flying Welshman. That would be really interesting. So, quick summary of what we've got going on. The next arrival is in for Girona. It's currently at 2,900 feet and left Girona 1 hour, 41 minutes ago. It will be arriving here in about 3 or 4 minutes. We'll be able to see, well, less than that probably, but we'll be able to see that short. So we will zoom in on that any minute now. Flying Welshman says, if I got called to operate a Dublin flight, I would spend more time on the road than flying. Ain't that the truth in Bristol around here? Oh, fond memories of Echo November Mike, brilliant. Right, that arrival is now visible, which is inbound from Girona. I have flown to it. I think Girona was one of the second places I ever flew in my life. When that part of the Costa was very fashionable, wasn't it? The Costa Brava, isn't it, or Dorada, depending on which part you go to. I do remember that the coach trip was about 2.5 hours long from the airport, and the coach broke down as well. I do remember also, I think probably 6 months after doing that, there was some sort of crash of a coach that was transporting people. We're going right back to the late 80s, early 90s, by the way, but I remember seeing a news flash, and there was a horrible coach crash of people who had arrived on our flight. But obviously 6 months later, not when I was there, but it always makes you look, doesn't it, when you recognise the flight number you've been out on. I think at that point in my life I'd done 4 flights, 2 returns, so they were kind of fresh in my mind, those numbers, when you're a kid. You remember all that sort of stuff. Like a greased runway. No trouble. Not sure if that's the sound of one coming our way. That would be nice. Norman Kloss, welcome to the channel. I've just seen a subscriber message from yourself. Thank you very much. Welcome. Hope you very much enjoy what we're able to bring to you here on the channel. Corfu is on the inbound, Uniform Zulu Hotel Whiskey. Left Corfu 3 hours 5 minutes ago, and should be here in about 3 or 4 minutes. It sounds like we might have one coming past us as well, so we may have a little bit of a clash of what to bring you, but we'll see. Santa Susana, I don't think I've heard of that, Flying Welshman. I've only been in there once, so I don't know that particular part of the Costa very well. Do have an Embraer to bring you though, folks. It's in a hurry though. No messing around. KLM keen to get back to Amsterdam. And then actually we'll keep the, well, let's see, I think this one will roll first. Yes, definitely going to roll first, and then we'll catch the inbound from Corfu. Corfu's meant to be that great airport for landing at, isn't it? And if you stay near it, you just get those fabulous views of the runway. Me and the good lady are looking for a little break. Go away almost immediately, as early as Saturday. Just a few days, all inclusive, and just forget the damn world for a few days. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So you might be getting some in-flight videos again for a bit. Here comes the Goblin. It's the Goblin parking van, that is. You can do a lot worse than Goblin, my friends. Goblin parking, I've used them. Very good service. Highly recommended. Looks a bit bumpy up there for the Embraer, doesn't it? More so than the other planes we've seen taken off today. Okay, let's bring you this inbound. I think we're probably having a little bit of glitching at the moment, folks. Sorry about that if it is happening. We'll do everything we can to get that sorted. Generally, the system's been kind of designed so it will degrade to suit the network conditions, but then it should come back, providing the network provider isn't hopeless. So, here's hoping for the best. This looks like a Neo, doesn't it? Yes, such a distinctive outline. Look at the size of the engines. I think the man in the car there was trying not to spoil the view, which is very kind of him. Very, very kind indeed. Right, okay. Let me have a look, see where we are. I'd love to see a couple more departures before we go today, that would be nice. Let's manual focus, there you go. So, Flying Welshman, I've got a question for you, because you are right there, aren't you? Yes. My question is, because I'm kind of trying to get best value on these flights, like this little all-inclusive holiday I'm looking for in the next week or 2 weeks or so. And invariably, if I go from Bristol with TUI, it's going to be, well, it almost seems like certain it'll be a 737 MAX, and if I go with Ryanair, there's a good chance of a 737 MAX. I haven't flown on one yet, and it strikes me that this question will be of interest to other people watching. You will have almost certainly had a ride on a MAX by now in your career, I'm sure. What's your opinion? And are you quite comfortable on them? I guess is what I'm asking, because you're doing it all the time for a living, and I almost feel ready. Like from my own personal point of view, I think it's time to ride on a MAX, but it'd be interesting to hear your point of view. Lord Darlow, I do appreciate any mention we can get in with Jet2 and Jess Glynn. So my friends are at 698 subscribers. That feels awfully close to 700. Can we close out at 700 before the end of the show? That would be amazing. If you are brand new to the channel, or if you just come back and you haven't pressed that subscribe button for some inexplicable reason, please do press the button and make me very happy. You might even be subscriber number 700, which surely carries with it some sort of internal happiness that you will be aware of. I will keep my eye on the counter and tell you if I see which person hits that while we're on air today. So we're at 698. It would just be brilliant if we could get to 700. So we can further spread the word of all this aviation here at Bristol Airport. Faro A320 CEO looks like it'll be coming to us next. Sorry about the glitching. Network conditions kind of dictate the signal we get to you. We very much hope it will get better. I am looking at alternative options. It's just it already costs a packet of money for a business level 5G connection, a 4G 5G connection to bring you this. And I'm between jobs at the moment, so I'm kind of like trying to think about how I can bring you this with an alternate network connection on standby if EE happens to go crazy like they are now. So let us know if you know anyone in the telecommunications world who might be interested in sponsoring a connection, and we'll obviously put your name on the screen, give you some very many mentions, and you'll be part of our early Planecaster story. Which you'll be very welcome to do. So anybody who knows anybody in the telecommunications industry who'd like to sponsor a maybe a monthly connection for us, then get in touch. It's contact@planecaster.uk. That's contact@planecaster.uk. It's on balance, when you look at it, you might even be able to do it for 20 quid a month, but it's yet another 20 quid a month ploughed into this project, which doesn't actually earn anything at this point. So it's like it's a serious toss-up between doing one thing or the other. So throwing everything into it, or being a bit cautious. And as a businessman, I do have to kind of keep that in mind, I guess. Now, a little treat for us. Departure soon. Coming up here now. The Max is an interesting aircraft to work on. It's quiet, feels a bit more spacious, and ours have the mid-exit doors. As crew, we have so little space and don't like the toilet placement. And Lord Darlow, thanks very much for that, what you've just passed on as well. That sounds good. Like I said, I think the time has come that it might happen. Echo Zulu Uniform Charlie, if you didn't catch the registration of that one. Apart from that, it's great to work on. Flying Welshman says use the control tower aerials. That's a good idea, isn't it? Do you think the control tower got Wi-Fi we can just log on to? The password might just be password or something. Right, let's catch this EasyJet, which I've got on your camera at the moment. It's off to Faro for a lovely Algarve break for a few people on here, I imagine. get a better view. Oh, not much time to dwell though. And if you're now invested in Goblin Watch, any minute now. There it is. You should wind back if you have not watched all the stream. You should wind it back earlier. I think we were focused on the Dreamliner. It looked amazing, and then all of a sudden this Goblin just appeared in front of it due to some passing traffic. It was very, very funny. I'll try and put that up actually as a little clip. Made me chuckle anyway. It's a friendly looking Goblin, isn't it? Do have an inbound, so let's leave that and pan around and catch our next arrival today. Is there somewhere? There, even. $698 on the subscribers still, folks. If you know anybody who wants to get the magical 700 or even 699, press that subscribe button now on the channel. Press the like button on the stream as well for extra kudos, and you can have a gold number in terms of our subscriber count. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I think we're looking at Amsterdam to Bristol on this inbound here. EasyJet, Echo, Zulu, Golf Golf, and it's a 319, A319. Not seen many of them today, if any, in fact. Very few and far between. Another one. Just double check. Glasgow to Bristol, which was the A321 Neo that we saw take off earlier, is almost back now. It's just over the South Wales coast, over the 7, and then it's going to turn left and land. Simple instructions. What it is, mate, keep going straight on till you get to Weston-super-Mare. You can see Weston-super-Mare, turn left, you'll see the runway, land. Easy. Lisbon service going to pass us in a moment as well, so we'll keep the camera here. Some great chat about the Max, which I cannot keep up with on here at the minute, so I'll have a look at that after the stream, but really appreciate all your chat, folks. and the expertise that you're bringing as well from the fact you're a crew member of Ryanair, Flying Welshman, so thank you. Looks like we missed ourselves. And when I say we, it is the royal we, because actually it's entirely my responsibility. We missed this, look. Focus on that, come on. Just that too far away, I think. That's probably over Wales already, that is. Let me just see what that is. So it looks like, actually it's over North Devon, and it's the edge to Grinville, and it's a 747. Oh my friends, shame I didn't see that beforehand. Having said that, of course, wouldn't have seen it in this cloud anyway, so it's by the by, isn't it? It's 2:10, folks. Where did the time go? If you were hoping to see the Dreamliner and you haven't been on the stream all day, there is footage of the Dreamliner taking off and coming right past us very, very close up, including a wave or two, I seem to remember. So get on to the rewind the stream and you can watch that. It was, in terms of the time, if you look at the time on the top left corner, it was about 12:10, something like that. Enjoy. It's not a sight we're going to see very often. There's some proper geek chat, folks. Have a look at the chat. If you like your geek chat, have a look at that. Darla and the Flying Welshman are going at it with some proper geekery, and I need to catch up with it all. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit unable to due to the busyness of the situation here at Bristol. And on that subject, another inbound. Sneaked in quite nicely, almost crossed the threshold without me seeing it. Can also hear another one starting up behind me. Hopefully you can too. There you go, but folks, a beautiful Airbus A321. We saw it depart for Glasgow earlier in the stream, and it is back. Tribute to those fast turnarounds. And Porto service now. It's coming past us. This one's heading back to Lisbon. We saw it land earlier on the stream. We have a Larnaca Max 8 departure and a Fuerteventura Max 8 departure, both with TUI. That's to come. Still stuck on 698 subscribers for Planecaster on YouTube, folks. Come on, let's get that 700 before we go. I haven't got much longer, I've got to go, I'm afraid. Can we make it 700 before the end? Press that subscribe button if you're new to us, folks. We'll try and bring you these 2 passing Max 8s for departure, and then I think that'll be us calling it a day today. Right now, let's see this Porto A320 on the roll. And is the first of those TUIs. Goblin watch, are we ready? There he is. Catch him if you can. Right. That's the first, and I think we've got one more to come. It's not too far away. That one that came past us is off to the beautiful Canary Island of Fuerteventura. The next one is off to Larnaca. There is a little bit of light GA coming in there. Let's just see what we can bring you of that. Let's see if we can go through the fence on this one. Quite hard to catch it close up like that. Let's see what we can do with something that's moving a little bit slower, shall we? Larnaca Airport in Cyprus for this one. Might be having a little wave there from the first officer, which is fantastic. And a nice little double shot there of two Max 8s. That one going for its takeoff, and there's that one waiting patiently. But folks, that's where we have to call it a day today, I'm afraid. Where am I? Can you see me? Yes. Gonna have to call it a day there. Thank you ever so much for watching today. It's been absolutely great to have your company. We've mostly been able to bring you good solid pictures thanks to the 4G connection with EE working out. Thanks EE. Not all the time though, so you know. If you do know anybody in the mobile industry who might be able to help us with the connection, with a bit of sponsorship, get in touch. Contact at planecaster.uk. Welcome to all our new subscribers. Thank you ever so much for joining us, and welcome back to all our other subscribers who join us week in, week out, and especially Darlo for all the chat. Thank you very much. And the Flying Welshman and Mr. B or MRB who came on earlier. Great to have your company. Speak to you soon. We'll be back in a week or so. Keep an eye on the streams. Bye.